Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Workbench Warfare, Episode 2. What we're doing here is spreading some knowledge and tips and tricks I've learned along the way. I am Matt, aka Uncle Clutch. I am the founder and head customizer at Lady Spartan Customs. And again, for those of you who might have missed Episode 1, I'll probably share this for the first few episodes and then discontinue it. But why we're doing this is to knock down those gates from the gatekeepers who want to keep knowledge to themselves for kit bashing, customizing, etc. And where you can find it is in this show you're watching currently with Sunday Fun Day, Joe Ara, and the crew. And he will also post a link at the bottom in the show notes tomorrow, and that will be able to help you find me on my channel, which is Lady Spartan Customs on YouTube. We're still growing that channel, so we'd love to have you come over and watch, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe. So, what we're going to talk about today, the exciting world of adhesives. And notice I did not say glue. There's a lot more to it than that, and hopefully you will get something out of it. But as in episode 1, we're going to cover who the guardian of the workbench is today, who's keeping me company, and just to do a little shameless plug and show you something cool, at least that I think is very cool. And we have here Dreadnought Smoke. He is a bad mammer jammer if ever there was one. He favors that M203 old school grenade launcher. As you can see, he's got some 40mm frags on his belt, on his pads. He's fairly tatted up there. He's got his Dreadnought affiliation tat. It's got a sticker slapped on the back right there. And he is part of an exclusive 3-man team that will be finished soon. 2 out of the 3 gents are finished. 1 is in development. So now that we've got that out of the way, he'll be coming back in a little later when we talk about one of the adhesive methods. So the first thing we are going to talk about is glue, and I've got a few different ones here to show you. First one I've got is Gorilla Super Glue, probably my primary item used for sealing parts together, fixing things, etc. What I like about it, it works, it's clean, it's quick, and it's not too quick. What I don't like about it is after a while you are going to have, unlike on this one, which looks very nice, you have a crusty top. And I actually scraped that off with a blade beforehand because it was so dang nasty, and I couldn't get the cap any farther on than this because you get a lot of glue buildup in there. So that is something that's going to eventually happen unless you're just super careful and you make the glue like your life's work, your hobby. So the next one is Gorilla Super Gel, Super Glue Gel. A little different. Green cap, green wording, help you not mix them up on the workbench. What I like about it, it's super fast and it adheres like nobody's business. What I don't like about it, it's super fast and it adheres like nobody's business. You can get your finger glued onto something if you are not careful. And don't ask me how I know. It's great if you have 2 items that are not bonding to each other. Sometimes certain types of gear will not bond to a figure well or won't bond to a plate carrier vest, etc. They're kind of rubbery and they want to resist, or they want to take 5 to 10 minutes to harden, and you don't want to sit there and hold it. So you drop a little bit of gel on there. A little goes a long way. It's like the old Brill Cream ads, okay? Kind of showing my age there. Haven't used Brill Cream, but I've heard about it. Another one is Loctite Super Glue. Hold that up to the camera. Remember, all these are going to be linked in the show notes, so you'll be able to find them and get them if you'd like. The reason why I'm bringing the Loctite up, I actually haven't used it, and I'm going to. I bought it just for this episode because my man Lauren Obi-Wan, who I have learned a lot from watching his videos on YouTube, and if you don't know his channel, I suggest you go over there and check it out. He uses it with great success. So probably has similar properties to the super glue, and I'll be able to give a little snippet on that a little later down the road. Now, for those who are using soft goods or something a little off the mark, we're back to Loctite again, but this Loctite is vinyl, fabric, and plastic. Fabric, very important. If you've got soft goods and they won't stick to a figure, these are not going to do it. I'm telling you, it might temporarily do it, but it's not going to do it long term. So now, a tip to remember is this will come out very fast. So dab it on something, and then use something to apply it. Well, what do we use to apply any type of glue to a small space? We can use something like a Q-tip. I'll put that against my black shirt there so you can see it. Another tip from Lauren Obi-Wan is to use the tip of an X-Acto blade, the tip of an old, dull number 11, but remember that can still cut you. So that is up to you on that. So those are our glues. But like I said, this wasn't going to be just about glues. Adhesives are items that connect two items and keep them together, maybe permanently, maybe temporarily. So we're going to talk about the next thing, which is putty and clays. So for those of you not familiar, Army Painter makes something called green stuff. Yellow and blue make green. You should remember that from school. You cut two little pieces, you roll them up into a ball, it's like Play-Doh, and you keep manipulating them in your hands or on a board until they become green. Then you can seal them. So if you have something like a G.I. Joe with his back exposed and you don't want a hole coming out of his back for that ultra realism, or you want to put something on his jacket and you don't want it to sink into that little backpack hole, you fill the hole, you smooth it out, you wait about 24 hours, you can then file it, cut it, whatever, and it will harden. I used it to make hair extensions, for lack of a better word, on my mainframe custom. I wanted him to have messy hair as a dreadnought. So it comes in handy. I keep a good supply of it around, and again, you'll be able to find it yourself after you watch this video. The next thing, Gorilla products, right? I'm loyal, if anything. Gorilla mounting putty, and there's a bunch in there too. This is another little dab will do you, right? So this will keep me going for a while. What do you use that for? We use that for something where you need something to not be sealed forever. Super glue is not going to do it. Green stuff's not going to do it. So like, we're going to bring this gent back into the fold right here, okay? Smoke can look right, left, depending on where you are in orientation, up, down, and there you go. Smoke has an amount of Gorilla mounting putty inside of his head, because not all heads and pegs fit together. And we're going to talk about that on a different episode. We talk about dremeling neck pegs. We're going to talk about boring out the inside of a head. There's not a head and a neck that I can't fit. Same thing goes for hands and wrists with a little determination and the tools on hand. Now, honorable mention goes to these sticky glue dots. Let's see if you can see inside there where it says glue dots. And they come out, they're really small. If you wanted to have something like, if let's say I wanted to attach something to his weapon temporarily, I could put a little clear glue dot on there, slap it on there, give him maybe like a little PEQ box, PEQ, little laser box, like if he's gonna bring in an airstrike. But they're very small and they get caught on stuff. So the only negative is they're a mess. So, all right, that's it. That's not everything. I was just kidding. So other things to mention, tape. We're going to start out with our old blue tape, right? Stuff we put on the walls. We can also put that on figures, vehicles. It's going to shield from painting, spray painting, airbrushing. It's going to shield if you are kind of sloppy with a brush. We'll cover brushing in another time. And it's very useful, but it's also very big. A little bit smaller there. So the next type of tape we have is from Hobby Lobby. It's the thin modeling tape. What I like about it, works in small spaces. Great for taping off an arm if you want to paint the sleeve, but you don't want to get the paint on the skin. What it does not have is good adhesive. It kind of sucks at sticking onto something. So kind of failed us there, Hobby Lobby. Now, honorable mention, Plumber's Teflon tape. What can you do with that? Well, you know what? I'm not going to tell you. Plumber's Teflon tape is an integral part of my kit that's going to be discussed in another time. I got to keep you coming back. So that will not be covered next week. It'll be covered in a later episode. But we have come to the end of adhesives. Obviously, when the video is posted, you can ask questions and we can interact. If you've got some ideas, also post those in the questions section. But next week, I'm going to cover assembly and disassembly methods for your figures and some of the pitfalls on that subject. And all the items discussed on the show today will be linked in the show notes. And I thank you for tuning in.